All right, guys, what is going on? It is Colin C back from the Crypto Boys, and I am joined by Chase, the know-it-all lawyer. Actually, I don't know about know-it-all, but knows a lot about the Voyager proceedings. We've had a lot of things come out over the past, several weeks and really just several days. We've been keeping you up to date as much as we can with things we think you need to know. We've compiled a list of just going through all of the documents and going through everything that I think you need to know in the most concise way possible. We're going to try to keep it that way. Chase has went through a lot of things on his own, and we're going to give some talking subjects that we think are going to really help you out throughout this entire process. If you guys could, for me, give this a video a like. It's huge for us. It gives all of this information, and people that don't have the time, money, or resources to bring a lawyer in and tell them exactly what's going on with the court filings and actually what is happening. So again, giving this video like really does help out. Chase has been in court like crazy. Several trials this week, has had a lot going on. So we were supposed to do this a couple days earlier, but we got it in today at like 5 in the morning. So it is super, super early, but we do appreciate him coming in, and we would not have this ability. Very few people have the ability to bring a lawyer in at 5 in the morning, take time out of their day to just help us out, help out the customers out there, including us, because we don't know everything, and get you guys as much concise, efficient information that is usually going to be correct as possible. Remember, this is not legal advice, not financial advice, but if you do have questions for Chase at the end of this, put them in the comments below. I'll send the questions his way, and then he can answer them through me, and we'll make sure we get as many of those questions answered as possible. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get down to the desktop and let's get this rolling. Okay, so we are jumping right now over to basically the holding. What do you call this? Just the court filings or what?
It's the court docket. That's what most people call it. For us in Iowa, it's EDMS. You get on there and you can see everything that's been filed, who's filing it, and you can pop it up online. It used to be a lot harder. You had to go to the courthouse and get paper copies of everything. If you
had to get paper copies? Wow.
In Iowa, up until 2014, there was no online filing system.
Wow.
So if you wanted to file something, you had to go from your office to the courthouse to file it. So people were going to the courthouse 4 or 5 times a day.
What a waste of time.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, what a waste of time.
So that's now you can pull it up online, and I would assume every state.
So what are these, we see them all the time, and I want to make sure I explained it right when I did. What are these are they Vice? Is that how you say it? These pro Hac Vice? I know it says Vice. Basically, it's other lawyers just standing up for other people. Is that what it's for?
Yeah, they're basically making...
Because they're out of state, or the District of Oklahoma, yes, or whatever it may be.
They're out of state lawyers. And
okay.
You can do that. A lot of times, if you have a lawyer out of state, you can do one of two things. They can try to motion in, and if you've been doing it long enough in some states, you can do it. Like, just for an example, Iowa, Illinois, because we're right on the Illinois Iowa border. After 5 years of practicing in Iowa, you can motion into Illinois without having to take their bar or anything.
Okay.
If you've been practicing in Iowa for more than 5 years, or you can hire local counsel. Where, let's say if someone from Kansas wanted to come in and do something in Iowa, they could hire me to do the filings and appear in court because I'm already licensed in Iowa. But that's what they're doing, just appearing on a case that they may not be in their correct district or state for.
I got you, because there's several of those. And that's pretty much what I thought before, but great explanation there. So, guys, we went through all of these court docs. Chase did well, and Chase actually sent me over the 3 that were the most important. We know you don't have a lot of time, and we know you guys know we don't have a whole lot of time, so we want to get you the information as quickly as possible. He went through everything that really you need to know right now that we have some sort of answers for, at least a direction of where we're going to go. So these are already hand-picked by him. All right, so we're going to get down to the desktop here, guys. We are going to first start with FTX and basically their proposal. We're just going to go over to Coindesk because they did a pretty good article on it. We're going to jump back to Voyager's response to FTX, but basically FTX, everybody has heard this now a million times, his offer is pretty much a low ball. There are several people out there that want to take it, but they're saying that basically Sam Bankman-Fried is dressed as a white knight that really isn't going to go anywhere, and it's not really going to help. So if we could, Chase, let's talk a little bit about it. They're saying here that 50 to 60 cents, this is all on the dollar before attorney's fees, and there are several other issues with the FTX offer. What did you think of the offer when you read through everything, and what stuck out to you?
Well, the FTX offer seemed obviously the one gaping hole in it, and the one huge caveat. I mean, to start first, they're not taking the Three Arrows Capital debt, so you can take that $690 million loan. That's off the table, so that's gone. They're not taking that. Now, I thought it was interesting. They're going to pay $200 million for $1.3 billion in crypto assets. Now that sounds like pennies on the dollar, and it is. But I did read an interview with Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yep.
He was basically trying to explain why this was a good deal, and why that customers should think about taking it. Well, and he had said, I'm not looking to make a ton of money off this. Well, okay, but let's look at what he's actually offering. I'll pay $200 million, and then I get all the assets, the 1.3, and I will take all the outstanding loans.
And he's not even taking the big debt that put Voyager really in this position.
No, that's excluded.
So
from
he's
his
saying,
deal.
screw off the debt that we really need paid back.
$690 million. We'll see what you guys can get from the bankruptcy proceeding for them, but I'm not taking that.
Yeah.
So there's a $690 million hole in your
already
balance sheet right there.
Yeah.
So he'll take the rest of the loans, but so he's basically taking the accounts receivable outside of Three Arrows.
Yeah.
And the assets for $200 million. Now here's, he said he doesn't want to make a ton of money. Here's keep in perspective. This guy's a billionaire. Maybe he's only making $100 million. Well, I'd like to have $100 million. But here's what he's actually taking: the loans that I think are probably people are still paying on.
Yes.
He's going to make that plus whatever interest rate they loaned it at.
And they're already paying those loans off. So they're just transferring.
He's just transferring those loans to him.
Yes.
So that's the risk he's taking, is that people don't pay those loans.
Yeah.
And he's not taking the risk of the Three Arrows Capital. So he'll make money off those loans, assuming they get paid back. So that's a risk he's taking. And then I believe he would pay you out whatever assets you have minus all the fees and everything, I think is what he's saying. But his main thing was, you take your assets from Voyager and move them over to FTX, his platform. So now he just gained, a million customers.
And he is allowing you to make that decision, but he knows most people are going to just switch there.
He knows that because...
And if they split it up, not to interrupt you, but if they split it up and if they liquidate, let's say half the people go with FTX, half the people stay with Voyager, Voyager's done. There is no more Voyager. There's no more Voyager token. The Voyager token would be gone. Right? Absolutely gone. It'd be decimated.
Well, I don't even know if he buys it, there probably is no Voyager token.
No.
I mean, that's probably gone.
Yeah, absolutely. And so here's the thing, is that you're screwing over so many customers that this 50 to 60 cents sounds good, but you guys got to remember that these are prices back on July 5th. These are prices that are not right now. These could be cash value, so you will have tax purposes as well. It's not just 100% that you're not going to have a tax issue, and then you haven't even paid back the big creditors or the attorney's fees that are going to come out of that too, right?
Yeah.
That'll keep knocking that down. So you may not even get anything close to, people are saying 75 to 85% of your crypto. There's no way.
That would surprise me if that was true.
There's no way.
The only way
have
that
to put
would
up
be
more
true
capital
is if you were to move it over to FTX and then crypto market bounced back. But that's the risk you take. And that's really what he's banking on, is everybody takes their assets. They've already lost so much. Move it over to FTX. Now he just got, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe he was saying you'd be in the same situation with FTX as you are with Voyager as an unsecured creditor. So it would be FTX's assets. Yeah. It wouldn't become your assets. I believe I did read in an interview that basically the only way to be sure that this is your crypto and then no one else can mess with it.
You got to get on a hard wallet.
You got to have your own wallet and your own
absolutely
your own secret key, private key. I think they call it a private key.
Correct.
So that's the only way to guarantee. Basically, your assets would be shifting over to FTX unless you wanted to liquidate. And at that point, I would consult an accountant or something like that to see, if you're liquidating 30,000, you might want to check on that tax. What's going to happen tax wise from that? And I would talk to an accountant or somebody like that to ensure that you know what you're doing if you make a decision to liquidate.
Yeah, so that's definitely, and we'll get into more about it here, but I do want to get over to the desktop and at least go through why Voyager's saying, because they outline it pretty well. Yeah. And so why is Voyager writing this, and why is this a court doc saying, hey, listen, the Alameda FGX offer is kind of bullcrap, it sucks, and this is why it sucks? Why do they have to put this in a court doc?
Well, when you open up yourself to bankruptcy proceedings, you open up everything. So
everything's got to go through the court.
Everything's got to go through the court now, and it's got to be approved. But I believe what Sam Bankman-Fried did was basically put this offer out there to the public.
Yes.
To get what he's getting right now, which is publicity. I don't know that he ever actually formally made the proposal to Voyager through the bankruptcy proceeding.
Yeah, because we don't see anything in here. Nothing is in here formal. So that means this hasn't even been formally done.
I don't know.
It hasn't gone through the proper channels.
I don't know if he sent an offer sheet or anything like that. I don't think he probably hasn't done that.
Okay.
But this is
And would we have to vote on this? Because now, or who decides? Is it the restructuring people that they brought in? Is it Voyager elites? Is it us and the creditors that have to eventually vote on it? Do you get more votes if you hold more shares?
Yeah. Pretty much the shareholders could vote on it. They would probably turn it down.
Because you have to have such a big majority. Like me personally, we're in this. Joe and I both have stuff wrapped up. We would turn it down because we would rather hear what other people have to say about it. That's just us. You can completely disagree, and either way, it's really not going to matter. But we would turn it down.
But the question is, I guess this kind of goes over to another court document we're looking at, where Sam Bankman-Fried filed, which was basically a creditor's lien.
Yeah, I'll jump in that right now.
I mean, it's not a creditor's lien, but it's basically, this is what I'm a big shareholder. Here's what I own.
So he owns almost 8 million shares at Alameda Ventures, whatever, Limited. But this since October 28th, and then May he owns almost 10.5 million shares on another one.
That's when he acquired them.
And he acquired them on May 20th, and absolutely.
So that's a huge voting swing right there. It'd be close to a little over 18 million shares.
Well, and on top,
and he's obviously going to vote for his
deal, but on top of that, they had to release this though, right? Because anybody with a huge one has to make a claim. Yeah. So this is not anything new. This is not anything big time. This really isn't much to really look at.
No, it's really not. There's not much to look at there. It's just basically saying this is what I own. So if anybody gets paid back, this is what
I need.
This is what I
and
mean,
those big boys are going to be paid back first.
Yeah.
They're
gonna. Well, if he's an unsecured guy, you're gonna get paid on what's called a pro rata share.
Okay.
Which means basically your percentage of what you own is what you'll get paid of whatever's there.
Okay.
So he's got 18 million shares. Let's say if you got 4 shares, well then you're gonna get 0.0000 whatever percent.
I gotcha.
And he's gonna get 50% of what's there.
I see. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump over to why Voyager is like no. First off, is the way Alameda proposal made chills bidding and undermines efforts to maximize value. So it does still seem Voyager's trying to maximize value for their customers. There is some argument saying, the lawyers are just trying to get paid. Is that really the case? I mean, let's be you as a lawyer who could extend things and get paid more and blah blah blah. Do you really find it in the lawyers you deal with and all the stuff you've dealt with over the last however many years, and mom being a lawyer for 30 years, our whole family being lawyers forever, do they really try to just push things out to get paid more? Like, does that really happen? I don't know.
I've certainly said that sometimes in my practice. Now, in this situation that's highly publicized, no, I think it'd be very difficult for them just to push things just to push them because, one, you have millions of people looking at this.
Yes.
So, you have, and if you have a guy who has the platform of Sam Bankman-Fried and he's saying, I'm making this great offer, you have to respond to it because they're probably getting complaints. The customer service is probably getting, hey, this guy says he's offering this is great for us. Why aren't we taking this? So they probably had to respond like this. But bankruptcy proceedings are slow.
Yeah.
They're slow. And I believe in Sam Bankman-Fried's interview that I read of his, he even said that their bankruptcy proceedings can
Yeah.
last years.
Because some of his white knight in the shape of a white knight is, we'll do this now and get it done. So he's trying to get on the time side of the customers too. Like, right now, let's just get over this. Let's throw it to the wayside. But Voyager's like, hold up. This proposal sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
like, we need to wait.
Well, of course he's gonna say, well, you guys want to wait years to get pennies on the dollar? You want them now? Well, really, his hope is you move everything to FTX, and he just gained 1 million customers.
Exactly.
And now Voyager's assets just became FTX's assets, and they're still not your assets.
Exactly right. Well, you'd have to get him off and go through all that, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, okay, so great there. The second, the cover letter attached to proposal suggests that Alameda and FTX provides customer claims based on cryptocurrency investments are capped. They are not capped, though. And that's just something that some people don't understand completely, but we can kind of move on from that. They're not capped. They would be capped, or thinking the value is capped to the US dollar, which could be tax purposes based on what is July 5th. And obviously it's completely different market from July 5th till now, right? Depending on what happens with crypto. So there's something different there. Third, the proposal requires converting and paying cryptocurrency claims in US dollars, which again would be more tax issues, right? Would be, what are you actually going to get back? I would rather have my crypto back. That's why I invested into crypto than whatever the dollar value is now. I'm down in some of those projects 80%, 90% down. So why in the hell would you want US dollars back?
Well, Sam Bankman-Fried's not stupid. He didn't become a billionaire because he's stupid. So he knows that. He knows that most everybody's down. So he probably is banking on, and he's probably right. Most people are not going to take it out for 80% loss. They'll leave it with him and see if it bounces back. And so he's gaining customers for 1.3 billion in crypto assets for 200 million.
Yeah,
pretty good deal for him.
So fourth, the proposal would effectively eliminate the VGX token. So right there, VGX token pretty much gone, because half the people are going to leave. The VGX token, Voyager would be dead. There's nothing to do with that anymore. So that's already 100 million gone.
That'd be like having a bunch of gift certificates to Kmart.
But Kmart is
Kmart's
gone. That's an excellent way to put that. So fifth, the proposal declares that there is no value on the Voyager platform and intellectual property, but simultaneously requires a downward price adjustment if Voyager chooses to keep it and sell it to a third party, which makes no sense at all. What do you think about that?
Well, I think I don't know what their IP is as far as what makes Voyager Voyager. But Sam Bankman-Fried doesn't need that.
No, because he already has it.
He already has his own.
Yes.
He already has different IPs.
So the things Voyager have already done to make Voyager good, and one time it was at a very good place, would all be gone. Right? It doesn't matter anymore.
Well, it would be gone, and it'd be barred from ever selling their IP to anyone else. So basically, one, he's getting all the customers. Two, and he's eliminating competition.
Yes.
In the same breath, which, I mean,
like maybe a big player like Fidelity or eToro or someone wanting that got a ton of bankroll wants to come into the crypto space. They're like, yeah, they got all these assets, they got all these problems, but what they do have is they've already got a working IP. The app is phenomenal. I'll be honest with you. The app is the easiest app in the world. That's why we use it. It's awesome. It's safe. It's secure, and it had the USD thing on there as well. So someone big time like that could come in and just say, well, let's just buy this. We'll make those people whole. They got to keep it on their project. That eliminates that possibility.
If somebody big like that, like a large bank came in and said, you know what, I want to get into the crypto space, they could buy their IP, and we've already got it set up.
Exactly right.
We don't have to come in and pay these IT guys millions of dollars and pay a bunch of employees to get our system set up. They already got it set up. So Sam Bankman-Fried said, I don't need your system, but I also don't want you selling it to anyone. So that's eliminating any potential competition he would have down the road.
So sixth is that the proposal burdens Voyager and customers with both migration and wind down expenses, while requiring customers to set up an account on the FTX platform. Although requiring, I don't know if it does actually require, because I think Sam Bankman-Fried said you can come or not come. So I don't really know what that requiring means.
I believe he still wants you to set up an account with FTX.
To get it.
To get the money.
Okay.
So you set up the account, then it's transferred to FTX, then you can cash out if you want to.
Okay.
But, I mean,
so
if you've already set up an account with FTX, is there going to be a mass exodus of people wanting their their money back and or crypto. I doubt it.
All right, Chase. I'm just gonna ask you a question, then we got to move on. I want to make this as short as possible. If this offers to you, like we've got a bunch of money in Voyager we're with all the people here at the Crypto Boys. You guys have already heard my piece. You being completely unbiased because you don't care. You don't have any money in there. I know you want me to get my money back, but at the same time, you don't have any personal funds wrapped up in Voyager. Let's say you do have 100 grand wrapped up in there. Let's say that's all the money you really have in the world, and you are like, I have to get some of this money back, otherwise I'm going to be screwed. Are you just like, let's just take the deal and move on? Or are you saying to yourself, no, this deal sucks. Let's figure out what the other 30 people have to say by August 26th first, or are you saying let's just take it and move on?
I wouldn't take any deal until all proposals are submitted, because
Agreed.
who knows what it is. And guess what? Even if they take the deal, you're not going to get paid by August 29th. Even if they took Sam Bankman-Fried's deal today, that deal is going to go through lawyers and more lawyers to come up with the contract, because they're going to complain about language for a couple months. So you're not getting paid. Even if they took it today, you're not going to be able to cash it out next week.
Exactly.
I mean,
right.
and everybody. So I mean, if I had 100 grand in it and it's worth 20 now,
what's the difference?
I mean, unless you're going to lose your house or something, why would you do that? And maybe someone has a better deal. Maybe someone has a better offer. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Three Arrows Capital. Maybe they recover more from them than what they're thinking. It kind of sounds like Three Arrows Capital is kind of really screwed.
Yeah, it sounds like that's not going to happen. But it is what it is.
Just to take the first offer that rolls in, just because some people, and rightfully so, may feel desperate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I would wait it out and see what happens, at least to the point where we're going to get to the bid deadline. Because you're not getting paid out in the next month anyway. It's not like Sam Bankman-Fried's going to write you a check next week.
So that brings us to a great point, is this next one that you guys can all find these on the holdings that we went over first, is the deadlines, okay? And I just want to go over this timeline as quickly as possible, but August 26th, so that's when all 30 plus people have to have their bids in, and we don't know what any of them say. We actually don't even know what the FTX one really truly is, because it wasn't submitted properly, but officially, I should say. Officially. But is that correct? So we don't know. We have till August 26, 2022 at 12 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, to get any, and not just the 30 plus people, anybody who wants to make a bid on Voyager, that's when they want the bid submitted. So then
they have an auction date as well, which we're going to skip over that for right now. They have 7 calendar days before the sale hearing, which obviously that makes sense, right? That's just kind of procedural. September 7th, the hearing before the court to consider approval. So this is basically them going through. This is how quickly we can start making decisions on a bid. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then we're thinking October 12th, they would have, the prevailing hearings over everything else. So are they saying here is basically this is how we're going to be going through the courts, 9 days afterwards, this is what it is. How realistic is this timeline? Because we're saying here the hearing before the court to consider approval on November 23rd. People are saying that, hey, we might be trading and have someone else buying it, a Voyager, or making it happen by the holidays.
Well,
I mean, because I've heard that out there, and I know America goes faster than everybody else. I know that they're on top of their stuff for the most part. But how realistic is that after the timeline we just showed?
Well, I don't know anything about the Southern District and how, set they are in their timelines.
Yeah.
I know from just general practice, motions to continue are probably the most filed motion.
So they happen all the time.
They happen every day.
Yeah.
Someone's filing a motion to continue. That's a pretty quick timeline. Since it is a Chapter 11 restructuring, I suppose it's possible.
Yeah.
But with this kind of,
So can a lawyer at any time just file a motion to continue, and that 7 days goes now to 16?
Assuming the federal rules don't have any problem with it, yeah, you could file a motion to continue and say, we need more time to do this, we need more time to do that, we need more time to consider this, because there could be things that we need. Our accountants haven't had time to go through all of these proposals yet. We need more time, and the court is generally, they want to get it right.
Yeah.
So if it takes longer, then it takes longer.
Okay.
And then resetting hearings, maybe in the Federal District of New York, it's easier. But I know if I like let's say if I have a trial next week, I have a trial on Tuesday and Wednesday. It's a custody trial. If I reset that, if I said I needed to continue it,
Yeah.
I'm probably not getting a trial date this year.
So you wouldn't even get a trial date until 2023.
Yeah, I've been
wow.
setting all my trials that we have trial scheduling conferences. All my trials are being set into 2023 now.
So, and that kind of just screws over the people, which would be us in this case, but even in your case, a family who really needs to get whatever, but it's more important that we get it right. Right.
Yes. I tell my clients all the time, if for a reason we need to continue it, would you rather go in, half prepared and see what happens, or do you want to go in fully prepared and, wait another 5 months?
And so right now, to you and what you just said, does it seem like if Voyager or we just took this VG or took this FTX deal, doesn't it seem like we're going in a little half prepared, or at least with half of the knowledge?
You're going in with what Sam Bankman-Fried wants you to go in with.
Absolutely, and that's only going to benefit him.
I mean,
It's
he's not doing it to lose money.
He ain't doing it to help out the Voyager customers who chose Voyager over FTX.
He doesn't care about the people who have $20,000 in Voyager. He doesn't care about people that have $100,000 that may be their life savings in Voyager. He doesn't care about that.
No.
He cares about billionaires don't become billionaires because they care about the little guys making their money back.
Yeah, no, I agree with that absolutely. And another thing is that also, so I don't know the answer to this, and Chase definitely won't know. But a lot of people had their money in in a stable coin because they earned a lot of percentage on that, USDC or Bitcoin, and that's pretty much what Voyager held. Some Ethereum as well. Does that mean that if you held other assets, you may get more of those back? Or because they're mostly USDC and Bitcoin was loaned out, so they may have less than that now. But let's say you hold VeChain, a different asset, maybe they have more of that because they didn't loan as much out to Three Arrows Capital.
Well,
I don't know how that works.
It's probably going to depend on what percentage of that kind of capital they loaned out.
Okay.
I think the most stable. I mean, stable is a relative term, but for the crypto space, probably the most stable is Bitcoin.
Yes.
So my guess, most of the loans were in Bitcoin.
Correct.
But when it goes from 70 to 20, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. But that would be my guess. Is most of what they loaned out is Bitcoin. But they're not. From what I've seen, now I haven't seen a disclosure statement or, a balance sheet from them of every asset they own and how it's broken down.
So we wouldn't even know unless we saw that.
I've just seen it lumped in as 1.3 million or 1.3 billion.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that holds. Is it 95% Bitcoin? Is it 70% Bitcoin? I don't know, and they haven't produced. I haven't seen any documents showing us what the breakdown is exactly of what crypto is actually within that 1.3 billion.
So now to kind of shift gears to the USD thing, because that's still going on. If you had USD, not USDC, but USD, US dollars. Over here it says, over the past few days leading up to the hearing on August 4th is a big day for US dollars. Basically, we know what matters to our customers is access to USD, so we can start buying things. Remember, they've always told us your USD is fine, your USD is fine. And I did go over this in my last video. You weren't able to make it because you were in court, but I did go over that. They keep saying the FBO account is equal to exactly the amount of money the customers had. You know this. You've read this. You've seen it. Does that mean everybody's going to get it back? Because why are they not just saying that we have all your money in this account, you're going to get 100% paid back, but they only say this account is equal to this account? They don't tell you anything else beyond that.
Well, because they're going, I think this is called like a fraud authorization process.
Prevention process or something.
There's fees associated with that.
So where do those fees come from?
They have a set from what because I believe I read the same thing you have up on your screen there.
Okay.
And what it seems like is they have operating cash to pay employees right now.
Yes, 120 million, I think.
Once that goes out, if that runs out, the lawyers are going to get paid on this.
Yeah.
They're going to get paid before any of you get paid.
Yeah.
The taxes any taxes they owe are going to get paid before you get paid. Any employees that have any money, they're going to get if they're owed money, they're going to get paid before you guys get paid. I don't know if that can come out of
this FBO account or not. I don't know.
I don't know the rules
because it's supposed to be deposited straight from your USD from Voyager to this account, so it's supposed to be a clear transaction. But I don't know. I don't like the verbiage right now. That's all I'm saying.
Because I mean, let's say if the fraud process simply makes sure that no one's being defrauded and then they give your money back, fine. They haven't said that that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying they need court approval to start accepting cash withdrawals. I don't know why they wouldn't get that unless there's a huge problem with the cash accounts.
Yeah.
But it goes back again to that FDIC backed claim, which I think we've kind of debunked in a previous podcast.
Yeah. So it says here, our ability to do this is subject to approval by the court. They still have to get approval by the court because they gave everything over the court.
Yes.
They're saying August 4th. If motions happen and everything goes through, let's say that the court says, good, let's get people back their money. They're also trying to sell one of their non-core assets, which is CoinFi, to get more money and more whatever operating cash, whatever. But these bills are not paid out of the operating cash. They are and not cash in the FBO account. So they're trying to keep all of that separate. Let's just say that everything goes well. It's all hunky-dory in the USD situation, and somehow they were actually correct about you having USD. You're going to get all that back, and you're going to be able to spend it on the platform or whatever you can do with it. They'll probably make you keep it there because they don't want you to take it off right away.
Well, once they open if the court says, yeah, we're going to approve people taking their cash off, they're going to let you take your cash off.
They're going to let you take it off
and go somewhere else with it. I hope everybody gets their USD back. It's just the vagueness, because without them saying, hey, here's the file.
Yeah.
Read this. I could tell you a lot better, but without them opening that, and plus I don't know, since I don't have anything on a crypto platform, I don't know what terms everybody agreed to.
Yeah.
Because I think we've said this before.
You just click
just click through and say, yeah, I accept these terms. I don't know what terms you accepted as far as, what they could do with your USD on that platform, what those FBO accounts could be used for, and what they can't be used for.
Yeah.
I have no idea what their operating terms say, but if they say something that maybe people don't like, but it's in there, they'll start quoting that if things go bad.
Well, maybe in our next one, we don't have time for this one, we can go over exactly what I signed, and then you can look through it, and you can kind of let us know USD-wise. It does look like we're going to get it back. My final question to you is, August 4th happens, everything's hunky-dory, it goes perfect one time for these Voyager customers. Yeah. How quickly can we get that back, you think?
Well, once the court order is entered, all it would take is basically some wire transfers. You transfer the money from those FBO accounts back to the consumer accounts, and then you open those consumer accounts, but everything's online, so I wouldn't think it needed to take all that long.
Okay.
Maybe a couple weeks.
So it could be pretty quick.
Could be pretty quick if they allow your cash withdrawals to come out. Obviously, like I said, it's the courts. Hearing dates can always move. Like I said, I have a trial on Tuesday. I still don't know if that's going to go or not.
Okay. So that's pretty much all we've got for you guys. Anything else you want to add to this discussion? Great discussion, by the way. So many questions answered. So pivotal to those people that truly don't have their money. I mean, there's people, as we went before, talking about harming themselves, talking about they can't feed their kids. So, I mean, bringing you on and having an expert perspective is something we truly believe in. And honestly, you guys have been great for us out there to really help us out. But anything you want to add?
No, not really. We'll Colin, I assume, will continue to send me articles on stuff so I can look. And if anybody has any questions, more than willing to come on again and answer them. Even if it's a special, weekend time or something, just put them in the comments and Colin can get them over to me, and I'll try to answer what I can for you guys. But it seems don't listen to all the press releases, especially of billionaires fighting with billionaires, because they're looking out for how can they make money, and I don't know that there's a white knight situation where everybody's going to be made whole.
No, I don't think so either. But it is what it is. Depending on, I just don't want to have to go down to bald. I don't want to have to take my haircut all the way down. Especially, it doesn't seem that big of a deal right now, but it is a big deal. So, as always, guys, really do appreciate you guys being here. Chase comes in on his own time. This is 5:30 in the morning on a Thursday. We have a huge fundraiser golf outing for our family tomorrow that he also runs. So this dude is all over the place. Give him a like button. He'll come back on, answer your questions, put them in the comments below. And you guys know the Crypto Boys always have your back on this channel. We'll do everything we we can to make you guys feel a little bit safer, a little bit more secure, and just give you guys the facts. Joe has been killing it with the Harmony situation, so go back, watch his videos if you're in Harmony. That's something you may want to watch, which we're not too happy with Harmony, but that's not for this video. As always, guys, we really do appreciate you rocking with the fittest crypto channel on YouTube, and we are out.